What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I'm going to be talking to you guys, reviewing and kind of comparing the brand new Anastasia x AMREZY highlighter. And if you guys have heard about this collection, it was probably for a few things. Because of the highlighter, it's beautiful on its own, and as well as the PR boxes that Anastasia actually sent out to all of the influencers and just like big names. The PR box as a whole was so beautiful. It came with the highlight, it came with a hand mirror, and then it also came with I think 2 phone cases that have like little glittery waterfall like backgrounds, if you know what I'm talking about. And they actually ended up doing like a flash sale on their website a few days ago where, you know, you could purchase the hand mirror and the phone case separately. So I think that was actually kind of cool that, like, you know, their customers kind of got in on the action and were able to get a little bit of that PR box, kind of like more exclusive merch. I actually was able to get my hands on the hand mirror, which I will show you guys in a minute, but I just want to like show you guys the highlight and talk to you about it. And in the process of this video I'm going to compare. This was what I was mostly interested in when I did see this highlight. Now I am kind of like sick of all of the highlighter launches at this point. Like there's so many highlights that look so similar, and I feel like in my own personal collection I have so many highlights that almost look the exact same, but it's just like I keep buying more. Like I'm a sucker for the glow and I live for the glow, so like I have so many. And I wasn't originally gonna purchase this Anastasia one, but I don't know, I went to purchase the hand mirror, the highlighter was still in stock, and it just kind of happened. So here we are. This is what the packaging looks like for this AMREZY highlight, and it's so beautiful. I love, first of all, the fact that all of Anastasia's packaging, not even just this highlight, but just like all of their packaging has like this like almost like a grip to the cardboard, and I like, for some reason I just like love that because it just like feels like so luxurious and like elite, you know what I'm saying? But this is what the packaging looks like for this highlight, and it's so pretty. It has like all the little stars here. It says Anastasia, AMREZY right here. And I'm gonna open it up because if you guys haven't seen what this actual highlighter looks like yet, it's so pretty. I'm just gonna show you guys the actual packaging of the highlight itself. It looks similar to the box. So pretty. And I have not used this yet. I got this in the mail about 2 days ago, and it's just been sitting waiting to be used because I wanted to wait to film this video and give you guys a lot of different comparison swatches to like a lot of other highlights that I have. So it's just like been waiting to be played with, but now that I'm like making this video, I'm happy that I can get this out of the way and then I can actually start using it. This is what the actual product looks like in the pan, and look how pretty that is. Like it just looks like sand dunes or like waves or something. Like it just looks so gorgeous in the freaking pan, and this is really like what kind of like suckered me in. And if you guys are familiar with like Anastasia's like original single highlights, like back in the day when they came out with So Hollywood, they had like that really nice pattern like texture on the actual highlight, and it was just like so fancy, and like I wasn't used to seeing stuff like that back then. I don't think anybody was. So I kind of like that they're not so traditional in the way that they package and like present their stuff, which I appreciate. So in the back of the box it actually has a little blurb from AMREZY herself. It says, "I live for the perfect glow. It's a constant focus in my makeup routine. I'm always looking for the most luminous glow with a natural second skin finish," which is key because you don't want to be emphasizing any texture. This collaboration with ABH brings my highlighter dreams to life, and I'm so happy to share this sun in a compact with my AMREZY riders. Also, Anastasia, all of their products are cruelty-free, so if you are looking for a cruelty-free brand, this is one that you might want to start with. In this package you get 9 grams of product, and I'm just gonna compare this to their original So Hollywood highlighter. I still use this to this day, and I'm not gonna open it up and show you guys because mine, I've had it for so long that it like has shattered, and I'm just like way too lazy to fix it. This also has 9 grams of product in it, so I like that they're pretty consistent with, you know, how much is in each highlight. Now I do tend to like the highlights that come on their own, just like So Hollywood. I feel like the formulation and like just the color payoff is a lot better than the ones that come in their palettes, like the 6-pan palettes. But I have like the sun dipped one, I'm not sure that's the name, but it's like sun something. I have the Nicole Guerrero one. I actually really do like that palette on its own, but just not for every day because I find that it's kind of like too intense. If you guys forgot what this looked like, this little gem, this was the Nicole Guerrero collab with Anastasia. Do love this, just not for every day. Oh, I have Moonchild. That's what it is. That's what the other one is. But Moonchild, like, since it's colored highlights, I'm not using that every day either. So I do typically like to gravitate towards the ones that are on their own. Let me get into like what this feels like. I keep hearing that this Anastasia AMREZY one is almost like a gel consistency. I don't know how true that is because just looking at it from sitting in the pan, it does look like a regular like powder formula, but let me touch it and see because, you know, stuff is misleading. Okay, so this is a finger swatch. It's like a really nice champagne, and I'm gonna do like individual swatches on my arm in just a minute, but I just wanted to see kind of if it had that like gel consistency feel to it like people have been claiming. So I don't think that's accurate in my opinion, but I'm gonna go ahead, and I did not put any highlight on my face today. I'm gonna use the Morphe M505 brush, and this is usually what I use to highlight my face all the time. I don't really like using fan brushes just because of the fact that I feel like I have more control when the brush is a little smaller like this. I'm gonna try it with a dry brush first just to see. Alright. This is actually a good time to show you guys the mirror that I got. When Norvina actually mentioned on Twitter that she was actually going to be doing a flash sale where you could purchase the hand mirrors, I was like on it. So I'm happy that I was actually able to get my hands on this. This is what she looks like. I'm going to use this for the first time officially and put my highlighter on. So I do have a little bit on already. Don't know if you guys can tell. I'm gonna go in with a little more. Ooh. It definitely goes on really smooth, and I do like that, but I'm not gonna lie and say that it doesn't emphasize texture. Honestly, any highlight that you use will emphasize texture if you do have texture. That's just the nature of the game. I suffer with a little bit of texture. I have been on a skin glow up all of 2018 though, and I will make a video and show you guys what I have been using to help my skin like overall, and just like it looks really good right now, and I don't think my skin has ever looked so good. But I still do have like, you know, some texture, and I have a little bit right here going on, and that highlight just kind of like emphasized it a little bit. I'm gonna put a little bit more on because why not? I want to see how this builds up, and honestly this builds up so nicely. This definitely does blend away really beautifully, like seamlessly too. Can't even tell like where the highlighter starts and where like my skin is, you know what I'm saying? Like I love that it kind of like almost like melted in, and I didn't even put any like spray on or anything to kind of combine my skin with the highlight, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit in my inner tear duct here. Now I'm gonna kind of get into my favorite way of applying highlighter, which is with a wet brush. I'm not gonna actually wet this brush. I'm just gonna spray my face down just so this can kind of melt into the skin a little more, and then I'm just gonna apply my highlighter right on top of the wetness, and it'll give me the same effect. But I'm just gonna take my MAC Fix Plus. Just look at the difference. Can you guys see? Like, look at the difference here compared to this. Like, I'm trying to look plastic, and that's what I'm looking like right now. Oh my god, that is so pretty when it's wet. What? This was dry, this was wet. Can you see? So once I do my highlight, I go in with my blush brush, and I don't pick up any more product, but I just kind of gently sweep over the area where my blush meets my highlight just to blend it in a little bit more. Like, I don't want just like a strip of highlight. I want to be able to like blend it together and make it look a little bit more natural, even though this is not natural at all. So I can see where people are saying like this is like a second skin type of finish, especially if you don't have any texture going on. I feel like this would be one of those highlights that you could use when you're having like a no makeup day, where you just put like a little bit of concealer on and call it a day, maybe some brows, and just like put a little bit of highlight. Oh my god, I feel like that's gonna look so pretty. I can't wait to use it in that way. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, I pulled every single highlight that I have that looks similar, and I am going to swatch them for you, and I'm going to compare them to, you know, what I have in my own personal collection, and kind of tell you guys if you can find, you know, a dupe for this highlight, and you know, if you should spend your money on it. I don't think I told you guys how much this costs. This is $28, so it's not as expensive as some highlighters that I do have that I am going to show you, but I still am going to show you guys anyway, because if you do happen to have one of these products already in your collection, I don't think it's worth you buying. All right, so now what I'm going to do is just compare this highlight to like every single one that I've pulled, and the first one that I'm going to start out with is my So Hollywood one from Anastasia. Looking at them side by side, this was honestly one of the reasons why it took me a little while to purchase this, because I felt like the AMREZY one did look really similar, if not identical, to the So Hollywood one, and I'm like, why am I going to spend money on another highlight that I already have, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't buy it when it first launched, but now looking at them side by side, they don't look anything alike. The AMREZY one is a lot more like a soft champagne color. It's a really light gold, light champagne, whereas the So Hollywood one has way more pink in it. And the texture of the AMREZY one honestly just feels like powder to me. Like, it doesn't feel like gel or anything like that, so I don't really know where people were getting that from. Not like scratchy or anything. It's not giving off any fallout, which is awesome too. Alright, so the next highlight that I'm going to be talking about is the Ofra Rodeo Drive. Again, looking at them side by side, I don't think they look exactly identical, but I think they will swatch pretty close. And if you guys have never tried an Ofra highlight, I highly recommend. These highlights are like butter in a pan, honestly. It's almost kind of like the Rodeo Drive highlight is somewhere in between AMREZY and So Hollywood. So not quite as light as the AMREZY, but not quite as dark as the So Hollywood. Kind of like in the middle, almost like they had a baby. And moving on to the Ofra Beverly Hills highlight. This one has 5 different panels of colors in this one. Usually where you would like swirl your brush into all of them. I don't actually like doing that. I don't want to like mix all the colors together. I just usually, when I want to use this, I will go ahead and dip into the color that I want to use and call it a day. What I'm actually going to be comparing is this one right here. This one actually is lighter than the AMREZY. I'm shook because I don't have like an exact match so far. Moving on, I have the Melt Digital Dust Highlight in Stargazer, and I feel like a lot of people didn't really talk about this one. I'm not super crazy about the formula of these Melt ones, just because I feel like they're a little bit more scratchy in texture. Like the powder is a little harder. They don't come off like buttery, kind of like the Ofra ones do. So that's my only gripe with them. I usually only will use these with a wet brush, where I will wet my brush and physically like swirl it into the powder, because I feel like I get way more pigment that way. Whereas if I just use a dry brush, I'm just gonna like not get any pigment at all. So this one is definitely coming off way more pink than any of the other ones, and definitely darker than the AMREZY. Next up, I have 2 highlights from Tarte, and this one is the Stunner Amazonian Clay Highlight. I feel like it almost looks like taupey. I feel like these come up so much different on my arm than on my face. Next one we have is the Exposed Highlight from Tarte. This is more gold. These Tarte ones are nice for like an everyday casual highlight, not for one where you want to make a statement, you know what I'm saying? I almost feel like the Exposed highlight is like the closest one that I have to the AMREZY. I know this is not going to be a dupe at all, but I just want to show you guys, just to have like a drugstore option. This is the Maybelline Master Chrome in Molten Gold. Honestly though, for a drugstore highlight, this is bomb as hell. If you guys have not tried this, definitely try it, because I don't need to use a wet brush with this one because there's so much pigment that comes out and it's buttery, so I highly recommend. The next highlight that I have is the Dose of Colors Desi X Katie Fuego highlight, and I love this one. This is what she looks like. Definitely way more gold. This is actually almost like as dark as the Maybelline one. Okay, and the last 2 that I have, I don't even know how I'm gonna swatch these, but they are the Artist Couture Diamond Glow powders. I have the colors Illuminati and Cocoa Bling. If you guys are not familiar with these ones, they are loose powder, so they have a tendency to go everywhere if you are not careful. They're a lot more glittery than I like in a highlighter. I kind of like something that pops, but it's not like glitter. And that's exactly what these ones are. Like, they pop, but they're very glittery. Swatched out, Cocoa Bling definitely is like a stark white with glitter. And this last one we're gonna swatch is Illuminati. This is Illuminati, the Diamond Glow powder from Artist Couture, and I feel like that one definitely is like the loose powder version of the AMREZY highlight, and I'm actually really pleased with that. So all in all, I hope you guys got a pretty good feel of what the AMREZY highlight is about. If you're going to be buying it, if you already have it. If not, I hope you guys got an idea of like what dupes you can gravitate towards. Hopefully you have some of these in your collection that you can just use in place of like spending another $28. But if you live for the glow like me, go ahead and spend your money on it. It's a really beautiful highlight. I'm sure you will not be disappointed. Let me know down below in the comments if you plan on buying this. If you have already bought it, what you think about it. Write that down below. I will also link all of the highlights that I did swatch in the description bar, so you can go and check that out. And before you go, please be sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Let me know how you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.